So today is Tech Time with Todd. We are out here shooting video on a house that is having a new roof put on it. And as I was going through this little process and shooting video, I thought it would be pretty neat to show you something that I use when I'm on different trips, vacations, when I'm not around a laptop. And you have all this footage that's on your camera, that's on another media device, that may be on drone footage, and you want to put it all in one file. You don't have your computer with you, and there's this new thing that's the Gnarbox that's come out and everybody's talking about it. But if you go to look at the Gnarbox, you realize that for a 1 terabyte Gnarbox it's like $800 or $900, and you're like, I just want to move my footage over. So what is the best alternative? I'm going to share with you what that alternative is today and save you hundreds of dollars. That's a heck of a tech time with Todd, isn't it? All right, let's get to it. I gotta finish shooting some video on this house. Alright, so here's the thing. As a creator and as somebody that loves to create different things and shooting footage all the time, and I find myself on vacations and I'm running and gunning and I have different SD cards, I find it interesting because I don't always have my Mac with me. And let's say that I'm filling up a card and I want to download the card, put it on a backup hard drive. How do I do that? How do I do it efficiently? And they came out with something called the Gnarbox, which when I researched it, it's a fabulous piece of equipment that I would love to own someday. So if Gnarbox, you're seeing this, let me know. So I had to find a solution. And this is my solution. It may not work for everyone, but this is something that I discovered that works really well. When I was in Ukraine, I was using this when I was running and gunning. If I'm out in the field and I'm doing some different projects, like this is for roofing today, and I want to move things over so I can edit later on, this is my simplest solution. It's called the RAV Power or File Hub. So this is a unique little device. If you compare it to the Gnarbox, it is not waterproof or all the banging around resistance, but what it does have in it is a battery capability to charge. It's not very much. I think it's only 6,700 milliamps, so it could probably charge your phone 2 times, but it actually powers itself, which is pretty cool. It has a couple of unique features where everything connects wirelessly to your phone on an app. So everything is commanded through the app to this device. It has outputs from 2.4G to 5G, so the communication can be quicker and data transfer speeds. But the main reason we're talking about this today, not only can it be its own router, so like if you're in a hotel room, you can plug into it using the Ethernet, and then this turns into a router and you can run your devices off of it securely. These are great capabilities, from the battery to running the router to some other capabilities that it has. But the thing is that that's not the reason I purchased it. The product itself is, I believe, $50 on Amazon. And then I ended up buying a SanDisk Extreme Pro 500 gig, and this is what I use like for quick transfers if I'm out on the field. It works pretty simply. I mean, this is what I do. This is all I simply do is I'll come up here and I'll plug in using a USB like this. I'll take the card, so I put a different card in my camera, so the footage I was just shooting out here in the yard is on this card. I simply slip it into here and I click it. And then I simply wait, and then there's one button, and it says SD to USB, and then I click that button. And then on the app, let me turn it up real quick, it's a nice brisk fall day out here. On the app, once I push the button, they're communicating with each other, and then all of a sudden, you get this. I don't know if you can see that or not, it's starting to spin, and as it spins, it's communicating. The USB is communicating with the card. The card is moving all the files to the USB and creating its own folder. So now what I've efficiently done is I've backed up. But then you're like, well, Todd, how do I know if those files were actually any good or if any of them were corrupt? Again, I have nothing holding on to this, right? I mean, there's no fancy wires. I mean, you saw me push one button. The Gnarbox boasts this in all of their stuff. But it also, like I said before, the Gnarbox I believe is $700–800 for a 1 terabyte. For 500 gig, I think it's going to be around $400 or $500. Right now, as what you're looking at, this is 50, and this little thing on Amazon, I believe, is 500 gigs is like 80 bucks. And if you went with a 1 terabyte, it's only 169. So even as such, it's almost, I don't know, 20%, 30% the value of a Gnarbox 2.0 that just came out. I just find it simpler. Still transferring the footage. I have a lot of stuff on this card. It's just not what I just shot. I think there's probably 15 gigs. And so when it's done transferring, you can actually go into the app and you can click on whichever device you would like to look at. Okay, looks like we're done. So I can now click and backup started, and then I can come over here and I can see the different files on file management. So when I click file management, all the files that were just transferred over onto the SanDisk, I can hit volume 1 on the card. It says here's your folder, DCIM, here's your Canon, here's all my video footage. So different things that I can play or do, and I don't know, let's just do this one. This was just me unzipping my backpack as B footage. So you probably saw that in one of the clips, which is kind of cool. That is actually playing live, and if other people were around me, they'd be able to play this live and tune into the different files on this device at the same time. And that's pretty incredible in itself. You can check all your files to make sure they were moved over appropriately, make sure none of them are corrupt. So now that you know that the SD card is basically clean, you can scrub it, format it, start over, because you know everything's already safe on your external hard drive. Come on, tell me that isn't a fabulous little device. But you can actually rename the files if you want. It just really kind of comes down to what you want to use the device for. You can actually play the files, and if you have somebody else that's sitting in a circle with you, like, you know, another creator, they can actually log on wirelessly to this device and look at the same footage that you're looking at. You can actually transfer those files to another creator that's with you and saying, hey, can I grab that footage from you real quick? You stick it in here, you put it on your hard drive, and now you have everybody's footage and you don't have to wait for figuring out how to transfer it around. This is my biggest tip for today. I even use it for the wonderful when I'm flying drones. So I'll transfer everything over and then I'll use it for editing purposes later on. But there's your tip for the day. This little file management system, when you're going in between the two, up here, you can see that you can look through both devices, and then you can actually go through and look at the different files. There's your tip for today. I wish I could say it was more glamorous. I mean, this thing really, you can look at other YouTube videos and find out all the gizmos and gadgets. It's pretty easy to charge. It's just a USB-C that you just plug in and you charge it for the battery backup. But honestly, if you're in the field and you're wanting an easy solution at 30% the cost of a new Gnarbox 2, which I'd still love to have, this is my easiest solution. So hopefully that helps you today. Todd's tech tip for the day. I love a tech review. I don't get to do them as much as I should. I love this Mavic Air. Maybe I should go back and do another tech review on Mavic Air. After now flying over 30 hours on this, I should come back and share the ins and outs of what I found with this little puppy and why I am looking at upgrading to a different drone. But I love this drone. It's my go-to drone because it fits in my back pocket. I'm gonna take off. So that's enough for today. I think what you came here to see is does this really work, and is this gonna save me a bunch of money? And the answer is yes, and this is how I'm doing it. So it's a heck of a lot better than setup than other things I've seen. So I'm rambling, I'm out.